Our smartphone or tablet and its apps are like a Swiss Army knife. I love having multiple useful tools in a small package, but we can also have too many unnecessary tools. This is my criteria for choosing an app before traveling. Does an app actually help my trip? An app that helps my trip will allow for trip information consolidation, the ability to track and connect with resources and relationships, cure boredom, and crucially, backup files. Does an app take too much space on my device? Most apps have information accessible using a web browser like Google Chrome or Safari. I recommend saving space on our device for photos and essentials. Does the app cost more than it's worth? Personally, I would avoid paying for an app I won't use after the trip unless it truly fits the first criteria in a way that a free app doesn't. For trips, we have 4 categories of apps that can serve our travel needs and wants. Essential apps, trip management apps, communication apps, and entertainment apps. The essential apps we need for travel are likely apps we already have on our phone. We need a GPS app like Google Maps or Waze, especially if we're driving to a destination. Plus, Google Maps has a saved option where you can make a list for a destination and save places you aim to visit and will need directions for. We need our banking and credit card apps to manage our money. We should ensure a bank knows we're traveling before we leave and use apps to monitor spending, especially in places with a foreign currency that fluctuates compared to the United States dollar. We can also add accounts to Apple Pay or Google Pay, encrypted services provided on iPhones and Android phones. If businesses at our destination allow these transactions using Apple Pay and Google Pay, we can leave a card in a hotel safe or safely stowed in our lodging. Personally, I'll usually leave one card in a locked, safe area, then carry currency or use Apple Pay. If a security issue arises, I have access to that money when I return. For safety, I consider the Smart Traveler app essential. The Smart Traveler app from the US State Department can take our destination information if traveling internationally and provide security updates based on location. One of the most crucial apps for travel, a cloud-based app to back our files up. If we use Android, we will have apps like Google Drive and Google Photos already installed, free up to 15 gigabytes total. That includes all of our Google accounts like Gmail. If we use an iPhone, we already have free 5 gigabytes of iCloud storage. Other apps include Dropbox, OneDrive for Microsoft 365 subscribers, and Amazon Photos for Prime users. Several of these apps require payment or a paid subscription for uploading over certain free limits. Uploading high-quality photos or videos requires a lot of storage space due to the file sizes. The goal with these apps is to have access to documents and to back files up when possible to ensure that everything we have on our phones is retrievable on a device with an internet connection. For instance, I use Google Photos. By backing up photos, I can access them on Google Photos and download them later on another device. If my device is stolen, I still have my photos backed up and available via my Google account. One thing to note, we need to know our login and password. I would argue that some transportation apps are essential. If flying, it's a good idea to have the airline app or third-party app for whomever handles our itinerary, like Priceline or Expedia. These apps allow access to the QR Road boarding pass and updates for gate changes. Apps like Uber and Lyft, when available to our destinations, are useful for getting from A to B, as are local transit apps by public transit authorities at a destination like CTA for Chicago or the Paris Metro. For some places, Google Maps may not have updated information. Those local transit apps can provide a little more updated information. CityMapper often provides a good one-stop app for public transit around the world and may work best if traveling to multiple cities in one journey. The final essential app, a translation app like Google Translate. Other translation apps like DeepL exist, but Google Translate covers more languages. I find Google Translate more helpful than not for simple sentences, questions, or words. Trip management apps are less essential, but can be helpful. TripCase can help us consolidate trip information and bookings into a single app. When we receive email confirmations from our trip bookings, TripCase will receive them and have it organized in one app. Hotels, hotel chains, and third-party booking apps like TripAdvisor and Booking.com offer help managing a reservation and contact in their apps. For something like Vrbo or Airbnb, the app is easier for communicating with the host for managing bookings. Let's talk about communication apps with a travel context. Communication apps are often apps many of us already have, like social media or email apps. I always like to have a video chat app like Facebook Messenger and Google Duo to remain connected to loved ones, especially if I'm in an area with Wi-Fi. Typically, we can remain connected via text depending on the international plan secured with our cell phone provider. Thus, a special communication app isn't essential, but it can be helpful for sending videos, images, and other large files that require Wi-Fi for best results. Last, let's talk about entertainment apps. Essential? No. And yeah. Imagine taking a cross-country road trip with kids and no entertainment apps. For me, a good entertainment app will allow downloads for offline use. I can download to my device when on Wi-Fi, then enjoy in the air or on the road or in spaces without worrying about international data usage. Note, any downloads will take up space on a phone. The library provides entertainment apps for ebooks, e-audiobooks, and even streaming movies like Libby, Hoopla, and Canopy. I always use PressReader and to read the AJC even when abroad. These apps allow for downloads on a device. We can also check to see if our subscription entertainment apps like Netflix, Amazon Prime, or Spotify Premium have the ability to download entertainment. Some final guidance. I find the joy of travel comes with some distance from technology. A smartphone can serve as a powerful tool for managing our trip, connections, and entertainment. But don't forget to feel present. Our destinations don't exist for our photos, and our vacations will feel like vacations when our eyes aren't always on a screen.